These three things can tell you whether all the time and energy you are putting in is going to get you results, or will it get tough to keep showing up after a while. And if staying motivated is going to be a problem, but the task is important for you, then how to motivate yourself. Now, here's the fact. No one can get us motivated to do anything, provide motivation for us. They can get us excited or charged up to take action. But that's it, get us excited and inspired, but not truly motivated, because motivation is something that has got to begin within us. Have you noticed when we watch something very motivational, a powerful quote or a motivational speech, it gets us all excited to change things for the better. But how many of these do you really think we take action on? Motivational stuff does work, but only when they touch an intense desire for something we already have. It can feed the fire, but it can't really spark it within us. How many people have you met who changed their whole life after watching a single motivational speech? And even if someone has, it's guaranteed that it was a desire already kindling in their mind. What really motivates us is consequences, something we are seeking or expecting will happen. Like sticking to a healthy diet would mean more energy for that vacation plan later in the year. Or it's something we are trying to avoid, like working our dash off to meet the deadline, mainly to avoid everything not meeting the deadline would mean. That avoiding consequences also counts as motivation, but it can make us feel like being dragged about by circumstances rather than being in control of our life. So now the question is how to motivate yourself, right? It's feeling empowered to choose, autonomy. When we choose to work towards something rather than putting in our time and effort to avoid the consequences, that's when we get motivated and stay motivated longer. Like if we are exercising because we believe it's important to enjoy an active, productive, and healthy life, we are more likely to be consistent with showing up every day rather than if you are doing it simply to avoid gaining weight or getting out of shape. Pull motivation always works better because our belief in, our desire and need for something pulling us towards it works much better than push motivation, trying to avoid something, because being constantly on the lookout can really get exhausting after a while. But sometimes we have to do some things, right? Even if the result is not pulling us towards it. And it's then that something more besides motivation ensures that the time and energy we are putting in wouldn't be all wasted effort. We will go into this in details towards the end of this video, but before that, we need to get clear about something. So, do you think feeling motivated is important to take action, to begin doing something? This question is important because it is the second thing that's going to tell us whether staying motivated to get the results is going to be a problem or not. Not really in the obvious way, but how we handle hurdles and problems to reach the end successfully. And if motivation is a key ingredient of your action plan, then you will find this interesting. See, we may need motivation either because we are tired and don't want to do something, or because we are feeling anxious about how things might turn out and need to feel motivated to overcome that resistance and start taking action. Neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman calls this limbic friction, when the rational part of our brain knows we have to do something, but the survival part, the limbic system, isn't really convinced. Now, motivation is also connected to dopamine. When we like the result of doing something, dopamine is released in our brain and it works like a treat or reward. And so we want to get more of it. And the way to get more is to keep repeating what we did earlier, right? In other words, we become motivated to keep repeating the action. And that's why they say motivation comes from taking action, not the other way around. But the question is, how to motivate yourself to take that first step. It's being specific about what doing that task is going to do for you. See, it works both ways. It will help you get energized, motivate yourself to take action despite feeling tired, and it will also help overcome that nervousness that was holding you back, because now we want that result, right? It puts pull motivation in place. So when there's no motivation to begin, get specific about how directly or even indirectly doing that thing is important for you before you find the simplest action step to get the motivational ball rolling. Now, which one do you think is more important to get results? Staying motivated or willpower and discipline? Which one works for you? Because knowing this helps us see how fast are we going to get the results. See, one line of idea says that you don't need motivation because it fluctuates, it's unreliable, and so it's better to simply depend on discipline and your willpower to keep showing up, because consistently showing up, putting one step in front of the other, is what gets us past the end line, right? But then there's also the fact that motivation, especially intrinsic motivation or the intense desire to achieve that goal, that can help us get past all the hurdles and get results. The pull motivation makes it easier for us to keep moving forward through all the problems and low energy days, as we have seen earlier. Now, here's the thing. See, we all have a limited amount of willpower to use each day, and every choice that requires self-control uses up that willpower a little. This is called ego depletion. That's why we feel tired after making a lot of tough choices, which means that a disciplined person without motivation will find it hard to keep up the quality of effort after a while. But then also, a motivated person without discipline will most likely take longer to reach the goal, which obviously is not always an option, right? So when there's something that we need to do, there's a formula that works really well. It's inbuilt motivation plus discipline equals results, because it's all about balance, right? Buying into the why. Why are we doing this in the first place? Is it going to help us do the things we want, or will it make things easier for us, or will it even in a roundabout way get us closer to what we really want? Making that why connect with something deeper, a desire, creates built-in motivation, and that's what is going to help us stay motivated till the end. But when we also have the discipline to keep showing up on low energy days, know how to manage emotions, to keep showing up even when the doubts start to overshadow how much we want that result. When we stack discipline on top of intrinsic motivation, that's when we get results faster. That's when the time and energy we are putting into something really starts to pay up. And building discipline obviously becomes easier when we know how not to let the uncertainties in life derail us, right? You can check out some very effective strategies to do exactly that using the science of motivation in this video over here. I hope you found this video useful. Take care, and I'll meet you right over here.